Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently, let's see, 5:32 p.m. on this calm and serene Sunday evening. It is currently, let's see the temp. Come on, Weather Channel. Why is the Weather Channel? It's Weather Channel and Goodreads are the two apps that don't work great on my phone. It is currently 68 degrees outside. And let's see what the hourly is supposed to be. Ooh. It's supposed to get into the lower or mid 50s overnight, which is chilly. Well, kind of. I mean, like, if this were March or April and it was going to be 50 outside, we'd be like, oh, this is short weather. We can wear, which I have my shorts on. So, it still is short weather for me. But that can get actually pretty cold in Indianapolis when there's kind of like a breeze, you know, at night. So, yeah, it's going to be into the low to mid 50s tonight. I haven't had any plans this entire weekend. I haven't done anything exciting. I don't really have anything exciting to talk about on here today. In fact, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about. And I was like, and I had decided that when I woke up that I wasn't going to film videos on my other channels. I was like, I think I'm just going to take a break today. And I've been getting started so late on filming videos these last 2 days that by the time that I've been finishing, it's been like 9 o'clock. And then I'm still waiting to post my vlog. And so, Boo Radley and I then lay down for a little bit, and then I get up and I watch these shows. And so I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to hang out and rest around here today. And I still wanted to film my vlog, but I was like, I don't even really have a whole lot to talk about. I'm sure I'll figure something out to talk about today. But I was like, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about because I haven't really done anything. You know, since Alex has been gone, he's been keeping in touch with me. FaceTiming me a lot. FaceTimed me from the festival a couple times last night, the music festival. Crest, I think is what it's called, that they're at. And then today was texting me when he got up, and then texting me from brunch, and then FaceTimed me from the beach. So they're at the beach today in San Diego. And then tonight they are doing the music festival again. This is the second and final night of the music festival. And then I think tomorrow they're going to do a hike, or another beach day or something depending on the weather. But it's supposed to be nice this whole week in San Diego, so. And I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I was thinking about maybe calling somebody and seeing if they wanted to go have dinner or something like that. But now it's getting kind of late, so I don't know. Most people that I probably would call have probably already had dinner. And I called my sponsor earlier, and she just called me back right before I got on the vlog. So I'm going to call her back after I get done vlogging. What did I do yesterday? So, I vlogged. I don't remember what time I vlogged yesterday, though. I feel like it was 5 or 6 or something like that. And then, what did I have for dinner last night? Oh, last night I made grilled cheeses in the sandwich maker. I made 2 grilled cheeses, and then I had bought these soups. They're called sippable soups, but I actually ate it with a spoon. And the one that I got was called, I think it was butternut squash and sweet potato. And it was really, really good. And then I cut up some pieces of brie, and I had some potato chips with that. And then for dessert, I had one of those apple cider donuts. My stomach, though, I will say, later in the evening, really, really hurt. It was I was having cramps. And I was like, what did I eat that's different from what I usually eat? Because I mean, it was weird cramping. I couldn't even explain it. And most of these things, I mean, I eat grilled cheeses. They don't ever do that to me. And the donuts haven't done that to me. I've had a couple of those by now. Or now. Since I bought them. Those donuts are so good. They are so good. I don't know, like, I got online and I looked at this. Well, so anyway, let me finish this really quick. And then the potato, unless it's the potato chips, which were these potato chips that I bought the other night at the gas station, which are called, like, tangy, cheesy potato chips, but they just taste like sour cream and onion potato chips to me. And the brie is still good, and I've been eating that brie, you know, every night since then. And I ended up eating some of that brie later. I loved, like, cut up cold brie and eat it. So, I ate some later, like, when I was sitting out here and I was, watching my show. I, cut up a little bit of brie and, had 2 apple cider donuts as a little snack, and that didn't hurt my stomach. So I was like, I can't figure out, like, what it is that's hurting my stomach, and I was, like, trying to figure it out. And I was like, I wonder if it's that soup. Like, I wonder if it's that butternut squash and sweet potato soup. I wonder if that's what made my stomach, like, really, what do you call it, hurt. Although, I will say this, and I have been, like, eating a lot of cheese, but, like, the grilled cheeses before haven't done that to me. I love macaroni and cheese, but if I get macaroni and cheese from someplace, it eats my stomach up. Like, it's almost like I'm lactose intolerant. In fact, Tanya and I were talking about that the other night. We were talking about how, like, it's like the older we get, maybe, like, is that something that can happen as you get older? Is that you become lactose intolerant? I don't know. The weird thing about it is, it's not like if I go and, like have a milkshake or eat a grilled cheese sandwich or, like, a piece of brie or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's certain kinds of things. I'll tell you when it is. It's like if I go to, like, a pasta restaurant, like an Italian restaurant, and I eat, like, a creamy, what do you call it? Like, if I were to eat, like, an Alfredo, and it had, like, and they, like, made the Alfredo in-house. Or if I get, like, there's this one restaurant that we go to here called Puccini's. We haven't been there in a long time, but their house salads are fantastic. They have, like, black olives and cut onions and stuff on them. And they serve them in these, like, glass bowls. I love them. And they have, like, these little tomatoes. That are, like, they cut the little tomatoes up, like, in slices. But anyway, their ranch dressing is like none other. It is like the best ranch dressing in the entire world. And, but they make it in-house. Like, it's a homemade dressing. If I eat something that's like a homemade dressing or like with a cream base, I'm screwed. Like, I am, like, my stomach is just, like, in knots. But I don't know what it would have been that I ate yesterday. I just couldn't figure it out. And that was really the only time that I ate yesterday. So, I don't know. The other thing, though, is, like, macaroni and cheese. Like, if I get macaroni and cheese from, like, a restaurant like Panera or something like that, my stomach is in knots. Now, if I make it, like, out of a box at home, I'm completely fine. If I go to somebody's house and they have, like, macaroni and cheese, like when we went to Caroline's house or whatever, like, and her stepson brought it because he makes this fantastic macaroni and cheese, I'm completely fine. Like, for a barbecue or whatever, like, it doesn't bother me. It's only when I, like, go somewhere and get it. And I don't know what that is. So, does anybody else have that problem or have any suggestions on what that might be? Let me know in the comment section below. So, ate that dinner last night. Watched 2 episodes of, I think it's called America Says. It's with the guy that was in that, he's hilarious. And he's been in, like, Christopher Guest movies before. And he's the host of the game show. I can't think of, his name's like John Michael something. It's like 3 names. And I think it's America Says. And there's like 5 people. It's like Family Feud kind of, but not really. Anyway, I like it. And he was also in that singing competition show that's real funny. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That has Rebel Wilson in it. I can't think of what that show's called. That has the Cup song. I hate that Cup song, but it has that Cup song in it. You know what I'm talking about? He's like one of the commentators for it, and he's real funny. So anyway, he's the host of that show. I watched like 2 episodes of that, and then Boo and I laid down for a little bit, and it's been really weird, like, since Alex has been gone. Like, as soon as I take Boo upstairs, well, first of all, our upstairs has been really cold. which is so weird that it was just so hot, just, you know, not too long ago. But it's been really cold since it's like gotten colder outside. And so I take Boo, like I always take him outside before we go to bed, and whether it's for a nap or whatever. And so, last night it was raining, and so his little paws were wet and stuff like that, and I took him upstairs and put him on the bed, and he was like shaking like crazy, right? And so I brought him over to me, like he kind of walked over, and I brought him over to me and like put him on my side, and then I covered him up with, I've been putting this like white grandma's blanket. I call it my grandma's blanket, but it's just this like white coverall blanket that I got off of Amazon. I've shown it in my videos before, but anyway, it's just like we have like a comforter, and then this is just like, Alex doesn't use this blanket, but I use it. It's just like a little light, like white blanket, like knit blanket. And so like I covered Boo Radley up with it. And I've done this the last 2 nights, like for naps or when we go to sleep. And he falls asleep like right here, like, and just curls real tight into me. And like sometimes he'll sleep on my chest anyway, but the last 2 nights he's like curled real tight into me. It's like, it's real interesting. Like, I don't know if he's scared or what's going on, or if he's confused because Alex isn't here. I don't know what it is, but and then it was so funny today because like I woke up and I was like, and I like looked over and he was just like sitting like this, like just looking around the room, like, are we getting up yet? I'm ready to get up. He was so sweet. You know, it's funny because he's never been a dog that, like, Pee-Pee and Tucker, like, if they had to go potty, they would let you know that they had to go potty, right? And Boo Radley's never done that. And we always just thought that it was like we hadn't trained him. Like, it's funny because now that Tucker and Pee-Pee are gone, I don't really know how to say this because to make it make sense, but like, if I would say like, Boo and Tucker, come on, let's go outside, and they would both come running, like, I didn't know if Boo knew his name or if he was just coming because Tucker was running, if that makes sense. So a lot of things that I wasn't sure of or we weren't sure of, we didn't even find out until after Tucker had passed away and Pee-Pee was gone. For example, like, Boo Radley knows his name. Like, I didn't think he knew his name for the longest time. But, like, I'll be like, Boo, and he'll be like, he, like, turns around or, you know, whatever. Now, he doesn't always listen. Like, earlier, I was sitting out here, and he was in the doorway looking out, and I was talking to my neighbor, and he saw her out there, and so he started barking, and she's always like, oh, Boo Radley, Mr. Boo Radley. And so she's like, bring him out and have him come over here. And so I was like, well, is there anybody walking in the street? And she was like, no. So I brought him out, and he came over and smelled her garden and said hello to her, and then he was like adventuring around and all that kind of stuff. And like, I was telling her, I was like, look, he doesn't even listen to what I'm telling. I was like, come on, Boo, let's go over here. And he wasn't listening to me at all. But like, one of the things that we figured out, like, after Tucker passed away, all 3 of the dogs were really well trained. I will say this, like, Pee-Pee was potty trained, like, I think from like month 1. Like, Alex got him, like, his ex-boyfriend got him as a birthday gift. Alex lived in a house with 4 other people, Sarah being one of them, in Bloomington. And Bloomington is where Indiana University is. And so he lived, was it 3 other people or 4 other people? It was 3 other people or 4 other people. And Sarah, his best friend, was one of them. And they lived in this house together at IU. And so one of the reasons why Pee-Pee was so well socialized, Alex always said, was because he was always around a lot of people. I mean, they would take him tailgating. They would take him walking around, you know, and everybody on campus would stop and see Pee-Pee. And so Pee-Pee was around a lot of people. And he was around a lot of other dogs. And so when Pee-Pee was at home, like, when they lived together, if, like, Alex was gone working or if he was in classes or whatever, there was always somebody to take Pee-Pee outside. So Pee-Pee was potty trained, like, right away. And Alex is a firm believer, like, has always been a firm believer in crate training dogs, number 1, and number 2, in not feeding dogs human food. Those have been, like, 2 things that Alex has just been, like, our musts with having dogs. there's been a couple times that I've, like, wanted to, well, I'll tell this story in a second with Pee-Pee, but there's been a couple times when I have, like, wanted to, like, you know, back when I wasn't a vegetarian, like, take a steak home to a dog or something like that, and Alex is like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to get them started on that, because once you get them started on that, then it won't stop, you know? And what's funny about it is, like, with all of them, well, Pee-Pee would have eaten human food, because, like, I can remember, like, he would be, like, on Alex's lap or something, and, like, Alex would be, like, eating french fries, and, like, Pee-Pee would go, like, he wanted one of the french fries, and Alex would go, Pee-Pee, no. And so Pee-Pee would, like, turn the other way. It was so cute. It was the cutest thing. But anyway, Boo and Tucker never. Like, I just think it's because they didn't know human food. In fact, like, I put vegetables down and stuff like that. I don't know if I said this in my video or if but I tried to make homemade dog. Did I talk about this in my vlog? I don't remember. Last Christmas, I tried to make homemade dog food. So, like, in the crock pot, I, like, got, like, I don't remember. I got, like, beef broth. And I got peas and carrots and, like, sweet potatoes. And, like, I like, looked online for, like, all these different recipes of stuff that, like, dogs are supposed to love. And I made this homemade dog food. Sarah, for her dog, like, she meal preps her meals for her dog. Like, she has a pug. And her pug is the same age as Boo Radley. She's 13. And Sarah is, like, has her entire life meal prepped her. Like, she makes her meals for her dog from scratch, and, like, cuts up, like, and what she does is she gets all the vegetables ready and puts them in these containers, and then, like, cooks meat, like, each day, like, microwaves it or something, and then, like, puts it in there, and she loves it. The dog loves it. So I thought, well, as a special treat, I'll make this homemade dog food for Boo and Tucker. They wouldn't even eat it. Like, I made all of this dog food. It smelled delicious. Like, it was, like, you guys talk about me cooking. It smelled delicious, and they wouldn't eat it. They wouldn't even touch it, and I was so hurt. I was so upset about it. But anyway, they've never, like, even when I, like, if I put, like, fruit or vegetable down, you know, on the floor or something like that, like a little carrot strip or whatever, Boo Radley will carry it around. Like, he knows he's supposed to do something with it, but then he'll just, like, carry it from one spot to the next. So the story that I was going to tell was when Pee-Pee was really, really sick at the end, and he wouldn't eat, and he wouldn't drink any water or anything. I mean, we knew it was the end. And I went and I got, like, a cheeseburger from McDonald's. I think I got, like, a cheeseburger meal, and so it came with fries, and I was just going to take the cheeseburger, and I was going to take the bun off and just cut it up, and I was trying anything desperately to get Pee-Pee to eat, and I remember I cut it up into small pieces, and I put it upstairs, took it upstairs to him, and I remember Pee-Pee, like, smelled it like he wanted it, and then he just, like, turned away. Like, I mean, he just wouldn't eat anything at that point, and I was down, and so I took it down into the kitchen, because Alex was just like, babe, he's not going to eat it. He doesn't want it, you know? And I was so upset because I just knew that things were, like, not good. And so I was standing in the kitchen and I was, like, eating these fries. And I just, like, started, like, I threw one to Boo and I threw one to Tucker. And Tucker ate them, like, he did. That was, like, the one and only time he's ever eaten human food that he ate them and he liked them. But Boo Radley had this long fry. It was, like, literally, like, this long fry. And he just kept on carrying it from place to place, and it got so soggy. And I was, like, sobbing in the kitchen. I was like, you can all eat whatever you want to eat. I don't care anymore. Just eat anything you want. And so Boo Radley was carrying this soggy fry. I mean, this fry was, like, limp, like this by the end, right? This soggy fry. And it was the sweetest thing, because this was when, I mean, it was like, Pee-Pee was bad, right? Like, really bad. And he was just, like, in bed, like, 24 hours a day. And Boo Radley ran upstairs with that soggy fry in his mouth, and he hopped up on the bed, and he went over to Pee-Pee, and he laid it down right in front of Pee-Pee. It was so sweet. But anyway, so I started this all talking about how the dogs have been potty trained, you know, for a long time. And they have been. They've, you know, always, like, very few accidents in the house and that kind of stuff, right? But I would say, you know, towards their older years, maybe every 2 weeks, there'd be an accident in the house. And I mean, they're small dogs, so it was nothing that big of a deal. But it would be like every 2 weeks, right? And we always thought it was Boo Radley. I don't know why. We always blamed Boo Radley for it, because he just seemed like the one that never learned anything, right? You know? Which is so funny, because now, like, when I take him out, like, I'll go, okay, let's go outside. He goes outside, goes to the door. When I say, come inside, Boo Radley, he comes inside right away, you know? In the backyard. It's like, I think actually Boo Radley's probably the smartest of all three of them. We just haven't known it this whole time. So anyway, we always blamed Boo Radley for the accidents in the house. I mean, we didn't get mad, but we'd just be like, Boo Radley, you pooped in the house. What's going on? And we just took you out. Why did you poop in the house? And he'd just look at us like, what? It's not me, you know? Since Tucker has passed away, there has not been one accident in the house. Not one accident in the house. And I have to tell you, I totally believe, I just had this moment here, I just have to tell you, when I started laughing, looking at the camera, I was like, this is totally like me and Tanya Jean sitting on the front porch. Like, I feel like when I do these vlogs, like, something is so different for me in driving around versus sitting on the front porch. Like, I always loved vlogging, but I love sitting on the front porch and doing these. And it really is just like I'm sitting and talking to you guys, and we're just hanging out and having a conversation, drinking a cup of coffee. I love these so much. They're so fun for me. So thank you for watching and allowing me to keep doing this. I really appreciate it. But Boo Radley hasn't had there hasn't been an accident in the house since Tucker passed away. And I'm like, we were blaming Boo Radley all this time. And it was never him, you know? It was never him. It was probably, well, it wasn't Pee-Pee then either, because, well, first of all, because Pee-Pee was a Chihuahua, his poops were so small, so we always knew his. But we knew that, now we know it was Tucker that was having the accidents, which is so funny, because Alex and I would always, like, do these, like, we would, like, tell these stories about the dogs in bed, and we would always be like, Boo Radley, like, we'd be, like, talk about school, like, that week. I know it sounds so corny. Do you guys do this with your dogs? Okay, probably not. All right. But anyway, I'd be like, so I'd say to Alex, so the report cards came out this week, Alex. And he'd say, they did. And I'd say, yeah. And I'd say, yeah. I said, well, of course, you know, Pee-Pee got straight A's. And Alex would say, well, he lettered in tennis, too. He's first place in tennis. And I'd say, oh, he was? And he'd say, oh, yeah, you know, Pee-Pee, he's, like, the most popular person in his class. And he's prom king. So that was who Pee-Pee was, right? And then Tucker was, like, the real studious one that got straight A's, but was also, like, the good time girl. You know, like, the good time girl. Passing notes and all this kind of stuff. And then at that point, one of us would be holding Boo Radley, and we'd say, we're going to have to work with Boo, because we need to get him some tutors. And Alex would say, he needs a tutor for his English class. He's still having a hard time writing his name. And I would say, those B's are so hard, Dad. Those B's are so hard to write. And we would always say that about Boo Radley, like he just never understood anything, right? And here it is. He's like one of the smartest ones out of all of them. You know, I kind of wonder sometimes, like when we first got them, the woman that we got them from, she told us, you know, she said, like, if you're gonna, you know, take them, you have to take both of them, because this little guy looks out for his brother, because Boo Radley was like the runt, and they thought that there were things wrong with him at first and stuff like that. But I kind of wonder now, looking back, if it wasn't the other way around, you know, and we just kind of never knew. If it wasn't Boo Radley that was always looking out for Tucker. I don't know. Tucker was definitely the more sensitive of the dogs. He was the most sensitive of all three of them. Boo Radley is definitely the most. It's gotten really breezy. Can you guys feel it? And it's starting to get kind of chilly. There she is again. Are you bringing him out here to show him what you did? I'll tell you guys in a second what happened. He's always definitely been the more independent, you know, done what he's wanted to do. What's so interesting to us is that, oh, she's coming over here to talk. Hold on just a second. You got news for me? Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. I've been gone for a while, actually. I walked across the street. She came over there. She was like, whatever. So I'll tell you what happened. We have these, like, telephone boxes in our yard that nobody has ever used. And nobody has a landline anymore. So, you know, she's constantly gardening. So she clipped this cord in the ground. And she doesn't know what it is. And she thinks it's her neighbor's phone. And so earlier, she like called me over. She goes, come here. I go, what? And so I went over there and I looked, and it was like this black cord sticking out from the ground that looked like it had been there since 1962 or 3. And she's like, I clipped this cord and I think it's his phone line. I go, why do you think it's his phone line? She goes, because this is the only box around that it would be like connected to. So she told me that she just called him and it wasn't his phone. She was like, so anyway, so she's happy about that. And they are having a seafood shrimp boil tonight. They're having like shrimp and something else, and he put it on the grill, and then they're having vegetables and all kinds of stuff. And they're not having dessert. They're having maybe ice cream is what they're going to have. I asked him, I said, do you guys have a time that you usually eat every day? And he said, yeah, like 6:30. So it's 6:04 right now. So they're getting, my head itches. There were a lot of bugs over there with her big garden. I'm going to have to get off here in just a little bit because I have to feed Boo Radley. And I usually feed him between like 5:30 and 6. I have to feed Boo Radley. And then I want to eat something. I got these mashed potatoes to like put in the microwave. Do you guys ever get those? I'm like in this mashed potato kick. Like every time that Alex goes to the steakhouse with like friends, he always asks me, he's like, do you want me to bring you anything home? And I'm always like, yeah, can you bring me home like macaroni and cheese? Oh, that's one of the places that like I get macaroni and cheese from, and like just my stomach is just like in knots. So I said, yeah, I always say, can you bring me like macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes? And the mashed potatoes from this place are like, oh my God, they're like perfection. It's 1933 in Fishers. It's a steakhouse. And so, I mean, it is a steakhouse and it is a side, so it's, you know, a more of a high-end restaurant. So yeah, the mashed potatoes should be good. But I've been to a lot of places that I do not love the mashed potatoes. I would say, like, most of the steakhouses, because friends of mine for, like, birthdays and stuff, they always just want to go to a steakhouse. So then for me, what I end up getting is, like, a wedge salad with no bacon. And then, like, a baked potato. Or I'll get, like, a side or two. And, like, Alex and I will share one, and then I get one for myself. It's always so boring. Like, steakhouses never have, like, a vegetarian meal or anything like that. And I have to say, like, in Indianapolis, I don't know, some of these are chain restaurants, but, like, we have Ruth Chris. I've been there a couple times. Like, I've never been really that impressed with Ruth Chris. And that's probably because I'm just getting the sides. I'm not getting steak or anything like that. We used to have a Fleming's here, and my aunt and uncle would take all of us there for Christmas Eve. And I loved Fleming's. I absolutely loved it. But I always got the chicken. This was before I was a vegetarian. I always got the chicken. And it was like a breast of chicken, and it had like all of these like herbs and stuff on it. It was so good. Or, like, if I go to a steakhouse like Harry and Izzy's, well, this was back in the day, before I was a vegetarian. Now when I go to Harry and Izzy's, I always get their mac and cheese, because they have this kid's mac and cheese, and it's, like, spiral. It's so good. And then I get a salad with that. But back in the day, a lot of the steakhouses that I would go to, I would get like a steak burger, like a cheeseburger, because I love cheeseburgers so much back in the day that if you go to like a higher end steakhouse, like they always have the best cheeseburgers. I think I was talking to my friend Valerie about that. I think she did that recently too. But yeah, like I'm not super impressed sometimes with the sides that you get. Like they always have those string fries, like Steak and Shake. I don't like those string fries or whatever they're called. I don't like, you know, the really skinny fries. I don't like those. I'm just never that impressed. Where did we go? Oh, we went to this restaurant in Carmel, which is a suburb. It's where I grew up in Indianapolis. This summer, I think the restaurant was called Anthony's, and it's a steakhouse. We went with 2 other couples, and they had like a beet salad. They had like 4 different salads that were like really interesting. They had like a beet salad, and they had some other kinds of salads. And then they had sides that were different. They had like a rice pilaf. They had like a risotto. They had some other things other than just, my neighbor's dog is out back barking like crazy. They had some other things. And I mean, typically when you go to a steakhouse, you know, it's like mashed potatoes, french fries, macaroni and cheese, corn, asparagus. Alex always wants to get the asparagus. And I'm like, seriously? Like, you're getting a steak, okay? I mean, he always gets a filet, and he usually gets the big filet. And I'm like, you're getting a big filet, and I'm getting asparagus to share? Like, no, we're not doing. You can get asparagus for yourself. Like, we'll forgo the price so that you can enjoy your asparagus, but I'm not sharing 4 pieces of asparagus, okay? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love asparagus. Back in the day, so my mom's one friend, when I was a little kid, she used to call me Mr. Asparagus Man. I think I talked about that on here not too long ago. I used to love asparagus so much. And I can remember, like, it was at some point that I was single in between 2 boyfriends. I think it was between my first and my second boyfriend, that I would get the cans, like the Jolly Green Giant cans of asparagus. And I could just see myself standing, like, in my little kitchen in my apartment. It was just like a galley kitchen, and I would just like stand there and I would just like eat it with a fork. I would drain it, the can, you know, in the sink, and then I would just like eat it with a fork. I loved asparagus. I should get some asparagus. Yeah, that's what I should do. I should get some asparagus. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna have grilled cheese. The grilled cheeses were good last night, but I don't feel like that again tonight. I don't know what I feel like tonight. Let's see the comments on the vlog real quick. Debs has been leaving a lot of comments on my videos, which I really appreciate. Thank you. She said, Peter, do you ever go live? Do you ever go live, Peter? I would love to hang out and chat and vibe with you. But no pressure. You already give us so much content, so def not complaining. I used to go live quite a bit. I went live several times a week on, I used to do it on YouNow, and then I switched over to YouTube, and I would do it like, I don't know, like once a month or something like that. I haven't done it in forever. I actually, because somebody mentioned it to me like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, when Alex goes out of town, I should do a live stream. I don't know, maybe tonight. The thing is, I like to give people enough notice so that they know that I'm going to live stream. Or people will say, like, I didn't know that you were going to live stream or whatever. So, I don't know, maybe I will. I need to pick a date that maybe I could do that. I'll ask Alex when he gets back, like, what his plans are for the next week or two. And then maybe I'll, like, schedule a date that I'll do it. And then I'll probably do it on my Peter Monn channel. I don't have my reading glasses on. Madsty says, I wish they had continued Wayward Pines with Matt Dillon. Love that show. You and me both. Well, I will tell you this, that if you read The Pines, it's a trilogy by Blake Crouch. Which vlog did she put that on? Upcoming plan. Because I knew I had talked about that, but I didn't remember when. So it's conclusive ending. Like, you get an ending. I just feel like they could have done so much with that show. I remember, like, watching the show on TV, and that was before I had even read a Blake Crouch book. And I was kind of so excited about the show because I had seen the trailer for the show with Matt Dillon when he gets, like, pulled over and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, this show looks like it's going to be really good. And I can remember watching the show. If you watched Wayward Pines, like, this is another show that I'm like, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but nobody's going to watch it. I mean, it got canceled, and I don't even know if you can... Is there anywhere... Hold on a second as I say this. Watch Wayward Pines. Oh, I guess you can watch it on Hulu. Yeah, so if you want to watch it on Hulu, you can watch it on Hulu. I think it's 2 seasons. But I was watching the first season, and I was so bored, you guys. Like, it was good, like, the first episode or 2. And then it got really boring. And I was like, oh, God, this is so dragging. And then it was, like, the 5th episode, and something happens. And it's, like, when he's climbing up this mountain. Well, not mountain, but it's, like, this, like, hill kind of cliff kind of thing. And, like, the entire... like, show changes, like, in this one moment, and I was like, oh my God. Like, and that's what, for me, like, why these shows get canceled. I'm just like, the possibilities that could come with this show of what could happen, you know, are just like, I don't know, so it just kind of makes me sad when these shows get canceled, but I agree with you. Victoria said, hello, Peter. Love you so much. God bless. Hugs. Love you, too. Honest to God, you guys, I can hardly read these. I can hardly read these comments. Summer Love said, I subscribe to Bay Nation. I can't wait to watch. If you love them, I'm sure I will. Also, XOXO. Aw, thank you so much. Why do you... Okay, so Katie said, why do you hit yourself all the time? I don't understand. You're recording a video. We're all listening to you. We got to listen to you slap yourself all the time. Am I the only one that it bothers? I have to use earbuds so it's loud. And I just want to concentrate on what you're saying because you're such a great storyteller. The slaps interrupt your speaking. Said with love. I didn't even realize I did that. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Do I slap myself a lot in videos? Will you guys let me know if I slap myself a lot in videos? I didn't even realize I did that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'll try to be aware of that. I know a lot of people wear earbuds when they watch my videos because they'll say, like, I wear earbuds, like, at work or when I'm going to bed at night. So I know, like, for you... It was funny because I was watching part of the vlog back the other day, like, as I was, like, putting it up, and so it was, like, on my screen on my computer, and it was, like, right in front of my face, and I was like, you need to trim your beard. I was like, this is too up close and personal. Like, you need to trim your beard. It is, like, getting too long, and I still haven't. But anyway, you guys, I cannot. cannot read these, honestly. Like, they're so far away. Okay, Julia said, Peter, since you love game shows, you will love this fun fact. The car I drive currently, a 2017 Toyota Corolla, was won by my brother on The Price is Right. He didn't win the showcase, but still ended up with lots of prizes. I knew he would get selected and do well because he is a natural. Shout out to, I don't want to say this person's name in a video in case they don't want their name. Monet said, hello, Peter. I miss your book vlogs. I miss you talking about books and cozy mysteries. And Gina said, me too. Okay, so, and I will end on this. I have really been beating myself up badly, you guys, about the whole book thing. I keep on putting it off month by month. Mel has been so awesome because I have said to Mel, like, I don't want to start the book club, like, on my first month back trying to read because I'm afraid that I won't reach the commitment of the book and then it'll be the live stream and whatever. Like, I want to come back and make a commitment to the book club when I know that I can do it. So going into, I know I keep on saying this, but going into October, I'm really going to make a concerted effort to get back into reading. I really miss it. And so, that dog, my lord. So anyway, I guess I do slap myself. I guess I do. I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'll try to do better about that. But anyway, I am going to do a more concerted effort, or have a, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to make a more concerted effort at getting back into reading because I love it and I miss it. And not for any other reason than that. Not because I want to meet some goal or hit some Goodreads. I mean, that goal is out the window at this point. I think I've read 12 books this year, and that was all before, you know, I stopped reading. And, I mean, I'm never going to hit 100 books, and I don't even really care at this point. I just want to start reading again. I miss listening to audiobooks. I miss reading physical copy books. I just want to get back into all of it. And so I'm going to do that. And when I do, and actually I was going to do some book videos, and I was going to do one about like an Audible haul because I bought quite a few books on Audible. And then the other thing I was going to do is going to be talking about like being just like stuck, not being able to read. That was kind of what my last video was about on my BookTube channel. So those videos are coming. And when I start reading again, there will be regular videos over on my BookTube channel. Because I miss it too. I really do. So thank you for asking. And Monet, I appreciate that. I love my BookTube channel, you know. And in fact, yesterday I was like, you haven't made a video over there in like 2.5 months. And it just kind of made me really sad. Because I love that channel. And it's where I started, you know, consistently posting. So, alright, you guys, that's where I started consistently posting on YouTube. I'm going to get off here now and go find something in the kitchen to eat. Maybe mashed potatoes. Heavily salted mashed potatoes, I should say, even though that's bad for me, I know. But I do love salt and butter on my mashed potatoes. Alright, so I'm going to get off here. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday. Thank you for hanging out with me on the front porch. This has been awfully fun. Awfully fun. This has been a really good time. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, make sure to reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And also remember to be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourself a little bit more. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.